When I'm putting together a retirement plan for a client, I'm very mindful of the taxes that they're going to pay over their lifetime and thinking about the ways that we can minimize that tax over their lifetime. I've been talking this month about some of the tax challenges and the impact of required minimum distributions on future income taxes to be paid. And one of the ways that you can reduce your future income tax, reduce your future IRMA cost, and reduce the tax that your heirs are going to pay is to get more into the Roth. And so I want to talk today about how do you get more money into the Roth world? What are the different ways that you can do that? Because I find that people sometimes have some misunderstandings about the ways that they can get money into the Roth, and do they even qualify to be able to do that? Now, this is part of putting together a tax plan that ties into the rest of your retirement plan. And by putting a tax plan together that is integrated with the entire rest of your plan, you can minimize your lifetime income taxes and make sure that everything is working together as it should. So let's talk about how you can get money into the Roth world. The first way is to make contributions through your plan at work. So you may have a 401k that offers you the ability to contribute to the traditional 401k or the Roth 401k. Your annual limit for contributions to your 401k are $23,000 here in 2024. And if you're 50 or over, you can get another $7,500 contributed to the plan. So a total of $30,500 if you're 50 and over, up to your income. You can't contribute more than you're making, but most of you would be able to get that $30,500 into the plan. It could go all into the traditional, meaning you get a tax deduction for it and you pay tax on it later. It could go all into the Roth, meaning you don't get a tax deduction now. You'd have to pay the tax on that $30,500 now, but it comes out to you tax-free in retirement, or you can split it between the two. But that is one way to get money into the Roth world. Now, a second way to get money into the Roth world is by making a Roth IRA contribution. You're able to contribute to an IRA or a Roth IRA up to $7,000 for the year. And if you're 50 or over, you get to add another $1,000 as a catch-up. So that's a total of $8,000. It can all go to traditional, or it can all go to Roth, or it can be split between the two. So this is similar to what we just talked about with the 401k. If you want to put it all in the Roth, then you have to look at your income as compared to the income limits. And we see that here in 2024, if you are married filing jointly, then you can put in the full amount of the Roth contribution if your joint income is $230,000 or below. Once you hit that $230,000, then you hit a phase out range. And that phase out range is from $230,000 to $240,000, meaning that your contribution begins to decline. It's reduced as your income is going up. And once you hit $240,000, you can't put any money into the Roth. The income limits for a single person are $146,000 to $161,000. And so you would compare your income to these income limits. And if you're under, you can put the full Roth IRA contribution in for this year. Now, what if you are over the income limit? You can still do an IRA contribution. You're allowed to do a traditional, non-deductible IRA contribution. There is no income limit on that. What this means is you're putting it into a traditional IRA, you're paying tax on the income that goes in, and then later down the road, some of it would come out as tax-free money because you already paid tax on it. That's your initial contribution, and the growth would be taxable. No income limit on doing that. And where this comes into play with the Roth is if you want to get money into the Roth and you're over the income limits, you can do a traditional non-deductible contribution and then convert it to the Roth. This is called a backdoor contribution. And I actually did a series on backdoor IRA contributions, backdoor Roth contributions. So you can look back at those videos because there's some complexities around that you have to be aware of and make sure that you're following all the rules and you understand how the tax is really going to work. But that is a third way that you can get money into the Roth. And the fourth way is to do a conversion. There is no income limit on doing a conversion. You can convert as little or as much as you want. And the reason that is the case is you are creating additional income tax for yourself this year by doing the conversion. You're taking the money out of the traditional IRA, you're moving it to a Roth IRA, and you're settling up on the tax when you do that. The benefit to you is that all the future growth is then tax-free, provided, of course, you follow the rules that you wait and pull money out after 59 and a half and after you had a Roth IRA for 5 years. The benefit to the government is that they get some tax dollars today. And so there is no income limit on that. You can do as little or as much as you want to move some money from your traditional IRA into the Roth IRA. Now, when you're thinking about any of these, you want to look at this year's tax rate, your future tax rate. How do those compare? How much money do you have in each of these buckets? How much should you convert or how much should you contribute into the Roth world so that you maintain a good balance between having money in the traditional IRA versus having money in the Roth IRA? It makes a lot of sense to keep some money in the traditional IRA from the perspective of using up those low tax brackets with that ordinary income tax, as opposed to pushing it into a very high tax bracket this year, paying the tax on it, and then not having that available later to fill up the low tax brackets. It also makes sense to keep some in the traditional IRA if you do charitable giving, because you can do the qualified charitable distributions and nobody pays any tax on that. So it doesn't make sense to pay tax to convert it to a Roth and then turn around and give it to charity, because you could have just given it straight to charity once you're 70 and a half or older and avoid all tax on those dollars. So you've got to do some planning around your specific situation to know what is the best combination for you to get money into the Roth through contributions, through conversions, and how much to keep in your traditional IRA for your retirement so that you minimize your taxes over your lifetime and maximize the amount of money that you get to keep for yourself and for your heirs.